Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So, no downloads coming through for today's reading, which is weird because there's been so much energy today that I thought for sure something would happen as soon as I turned on the camera, but it's not coming through yet. So, I'll just show you what decks we're using. We're using the Magician's Oracle deck. I'm going to use Thoth and Whispers of Healing. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just shake it up first and then kind of see. I can't. Oh, what are you? Yeah, just keep shuffling. If it's meant to come out, it will. So we have child. We have bailiff. No story yet. I'm like, is this inner child or is this actually like a child? A real life one. Bailiff. Some paying dues. And Goblin Queen. I'm getting weird chills. I don't find them comforting. Usually like when spirit kind of comes through, I get like chills and it's like, like you're here. And it's like, right? You kind of settle into this. But this one, I feel like it's just ice coming. It's like Goblin Queen, but I'm feeling like Ice Queen. I feel like ice freezing and that's all it is. It's very uncomfortable. So we have Weaver of Creation in reverse. So that's enough for that one. They say do this one and then that one. Only 3 of these. 1. So we have 2 of Swords. Oh, don't want to drop all those. Come back. Okay. What are we talking about? Yeah. 2 of Swords, and on it says peace. And so the peace kind of landed, because there's only 3 of them. Oh, I see. So the peace kind of landed in between the child and the bailiff. Between the bailiff and the Goblin Queen is... So what I'm feeling when I'm shuffling, ooh, and I'm getting confirmation. I don't feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I need to be prepared. I need to be prepared and it's not the right time, but Spirit's like, it's never going to be the right time because it's not, what are they showing? With this bailiff and this Goblin Queen, it's a karmic situation. And whatever this karmic situation, it involves, like kind of going back, I am getting that it is an inner child. Or it is both for some. It's like going back and rescuing your inner child out of this karmic situation. And for some who had that happen to them when they were younger and didn't go back for their inner child, and then they had children, well, it's like playing out again, they kind of show. Something like that. History repeating itself. So with the child, with the 2 of Swords, I see I need to bring peace to this situation. Yeah. So what, ooh, I'm getting, you know what? This is all stuff. This is future. I'm getting a lot of future energy. So maybe for some that this story is not going to make sense of, but I keep getting that this is like events to come or events to unfold. With that, there's a disclaimer, like you're the creator of your own universe, right? We have Weaver of Creation. This one is in reverse. It seems like whoever's in this reading, they're stuck in a very karmic loop of something and there's no peace in it. And so, yeah. What do you want to share about that? I'm sorry, guys. That just kind of, I don't know why. This is a weird energy I'm picking up on. I said there was weird energy today, but with this, I'm feeling extreme sadness in this reading. I feel like crying. Ooh, that sucks. And crying and despair. That's the energy I'm tapping into. And that's all past energy. But in the future to come, I feel like there's this karmic situation that you need to face. And it's like there will never be a right time to deal with it because it's karmic. Karmic situations aren't going to be like, all right, like I'll line up perfectly. Like, no, it's going to be messy. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to hurt, especially the inner child. It seems like this inner child feels lost, neglected, or abandoned, and kind of like a bargaining chip, especially with this bailiff. It seemed like money or possessions or something kind of outweighed how this child felt. It felt like I wasn't allowed to express love and joy and be authentic and have peace. You, I don't know who this is, but that's what this inner child I'm picking up on is like, you traded my happiness for, well, this I see as like selling your soul kind of thing for, wow, we got the Goblin Queen. That's kind of like underworld, dark kind of things. And I feel like whoever kind of did that gave up their spark, their inner child. And yeah, that's why they can't weave creations. Like they're not a child of the universe because they've lost their inner child or something. I just feel like really holding my heart. I feel real sad. This is really freaking sad. So let's pull some more cards. I don't know. I just feel a lot of influx of energy is coming. So a lot of this story, I don't know if you're experiencing this now or going to go into it. Just read the cards, they say. Okay. It's just weird. I'm being bombarded with something from the future. So to clarify, the bailiff and the Goblin Queen is the Empress card in reverse. And with that, I feel that's where the mistake was. Oh, that's where the sadness is. I don't know. That's where real life children, that's where that kind of came in. Someone being stuck with someone in a very karmic, codependent, bad situation. I don't know. It's just a weird energy. Okay, so, and then to clarify, okay, what about this? The Goblin Queen, I need a clarifier. That's what I need. Like, because I see the Goblin Queen selling out this inner child, whatever this was, right? She saw this, saw the innocence, saw the something, kind of saw the peace, and she's the one who disturbed the peace by putting a tax or something above something, an ultimatum. And so the Empress in reverse, kind of, I would like a clarification on that. We have the Death card in reverse. I feel like, okay, whatever this Goblin Queen was, right? It's like she's really controlling. She wants to control things, and she doesn't really like joy and happiness and like things like that, and peace. It's like she kind of thrives in the chaos, because when you have that chaotic energy, when you're hopeful and wishful, right, you feel good. You're living in a higher vibration, and she can't really feed off that energy. But when you're trapped and you're like, I don't know what to do, and I'm isolated and I'm stuck in this karmic situation, well, that's when she can get her resources and time from whatever this is. And I almost get like, I want one more before I say that. We have Prudence in reverse. That makes no sense. We got Death. It keeps growing. It just keeps growing. That's what I keep hearing. Okay. So with this Empress in reverse, I'm a little bit confused with that. it's like what had to be sold was the inner child. And so the inner child had a hope or a dream or a wish or a want, and it was kind of connected to the feminine energy. And that this one is like more of that controlling Empress in reverse energy. But what I got from it with the death in reverse was she benefits when you keep in that cycle, and she wants that cycle just to herself. But I feel like that there was times when there was balance and peace before, because the Two of Swords is about you can make a decision, right? You have to weigh your options. You have to balance your mind and your heart, which is what Anubis is doing out there, right? And your heart has to weigh the same as your mind. And that's the path of least resistance, really. But that's the soul's journey. That's soul work. And so I feel like someone didn't use their heart or didn't speak up for what they wanted, because I'm being drawn to the blue lotus. They chose an opportunity where they could have taken the blindfold off and speak up, but they didn't. And so in that, they got controlled, and they kind of sold out. They kind of sold their soul. And that's where I feel like crying right now, because I feel like that there's a lot of I don't think people knew at the time what the choices that they were making, how detrimental it was going to be on the soul journey. But when you choose, like when life comes and gives you that ultimatum, the only way to see clearly is to use your heart. And somebody knew what they wanted, wouldn't speak up, and totally was like, they sold out their inner child, is what I'm kind of picking up. A part of me was like, was it like forced, or I don't know, like sometimes like you're in a situation and you have to act that way. And so, right, as a good kid, you act that way, and then later on you learn. But I'm getting no, like this person knew what they were supposed to do. They knew the right thing to bring peace and harmony and balance to their soul, and they sold out. And that's now bringing me to a channeling that I had a while ago that I never made a video on. It's still kind of in my videos that want to kind of come out. And it was like talking about being shortchanged. So not even that, somebody, and so that's what I was kind of getting. I'm like, I get like this is like a manipulative dark energy anyways. So whoever this Goblin Queen kind of got her hooks in, the person that she got her hooks in wasn't even a desirable person. Like they would sell out anyone for, look at his face. Like it's like falling apart, and he's got creepy ass eyes. And I think that's the defining feature of whatever this energy is that kind of sold out their inner child, right? Because when you're a child, you're innocent, right? And you have life and choices. And I get that this little child knew right from wrong, but still was like, grew into this energy by choice. And with that, they no longer can see. They're blinded. And by being blind, this kind of Goblin Queen came and was like, there's a sucker. And with that sucker, they kind of kept him in this toxic loop or cycle. And it was death reverse. Like, I feel like that this one's like, shit, like I really wish for this cycle to end. And going back to the beginning, it will never be time to end. It will always be chaotic and messy. And the more time you put into it, the more energy you put into it, the harder the hooks go in deeper. I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed with whatever message, I'm like, is it the viewer that this message is for? Or is it someone that, yes, okay, there's more people to this story, right? It's like third parties and shit like that. And so there was this Empress energy, and that's what I kind of saw. It was like this inner child liked someone, or this inner child, okay, I see a relationship aspect where there's like masculine, feminine energy, but I also see it within someone, and having that feminine energy within you be crushed or snuffed out or something. And then in some aspects, yeah, no, it'd be relationship in that scenario too. And I don't need to explain it for whoever it is meant for because they understand. Thank you. Because I was like tripping on my words. But that's what I saw. I saw like in the past, it was like this or that. And it's like, well, and it might have been a decision when it came to relationship, especially when it came to finances. Well, I'm going to go for this Goblin Queen because she's going to give me more money. And the more money that I have, the happier I'll be. But, and so I feel like this Goblin Queen was like, sweet, sign this contract. And they did. And with that, was all his creation sucked right out the window. He signed his name on that. Once they signed that contract, that's when that new karmic cycle started. And so I do feel like there was this Empress energy in the mix, and that's, they didn't choose the Empress, they chose the Goblin Queen, the Empress in reverse. And so I feel like the Goblin Queen was like, well, it was this or that, you chose me, you signed my contract, so you have to let that one go. And so that's why I was like, I feel like this could be for a viewer who is like, why didn't they choose me? Well, because they suck. I'm sorry, this is a shitty ass energy and I'm so annoyed with them. And and then I do see maybe a part of this energy could be this annoying ass energy watching this right now. And I apologize, but man, you got shitty ass energy. I don't like it. I feel like you fucked around with way too many people. You've broken too many hearts. And with this Prudence card, it's like you went for like really innocent, pure people that were like inner child, and you, I don't know. I think you're just as equally a monster as this Goblin Queen, or whoever's still longing for this Goblin. Like they're a match. It sucks. They're in this karmic ass cycle. But that's what I saw. And it's like they were like, well, if you're with me and you want my money, like you have to cut off that person. And so they did. They chose money over peace and happiness with you. And so let them. Because what I saw with that death card, that cycle's never ending. But as much as they said cut off this Empress, with this Prudence, what I feel like is, as much as you try to ignore it, it's like a dandelion that like grows through the cement. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And so that's what I almost see is things starting to blossom, things starting to grow, but never being allowed to be a part of that, because it's like the seeds where they thought were growing were actually growing over there, and now this is growing, and yeah, they can't go over to that field and whatever until they deal with this karmic ass Goblin Queen. And there's a portion of me that's like, I think they might have had a child, and this child is going to keep them bound together forever. And so that sucks for whoever sold their inner child out, because that inner child wanted something so completely different. And that is the saddest story to ever share. It is. I feel soulless for whoever that energy, the energy that annoys the shit out of me. I don't know, they're numb. They don't feel. They kind of, it's sad. And they used to be so lucky. They used to be everything. And as soon as they signed that contract, it was a deal with the devil, and they're not lucky anymore. So there is one more card that I haven't focused on, but it kind of went with the Goblin Queen and the not being able to create. And so it is adjustment. And look at that. There's the scales. And we were talking about, Matt, with your heart needing to be weighed as much as your brain. This person's brain is fucked up because they didn't listen to their heart. They chose money and possessions and things rather than reflecting on their heart. And so now their mind is their own worst enemy. And I'm even getting like, now that they're trapped together, like there will always be that battle within the mind and the heart. And it's just sad. Why is this energy even coming into this reading? Like, I don't know. Let's see what's next. I feel a lot of future energy coming. So a lot of this past stuff, there's nothing to deal with. I don't know. So what is that a message for? I feel like that's the person who got kind of pushed out and was like, I wanted to be a part of that. And it's like, no, you didn't. You don't understand how freaking lucky you are, because you're over here growing and weaving creation, and they can't create other than, oh, that sounds karmic cycles, karmic roots. And they can overcome it, but it's going to be really freaking hard. So we have respect, kind of land in between the Peace and the Empress. We have give back. There is a happy home life and everything on here. And we have receive healing. So I'm being bombarded with spirit right now. And they say everything is in control. Okay, so what part confused me was maybe the scales. And the scales with weaving creation, I don't know. Obviously, you can end everything. You can get yourself out of any toxic situation. So, like, again, I'm going to apologize to this masculine energy if that's the one watching, because it does annoy me, but no, I don't apologize. It's annoying, but I do think that you can get out of it by actually doing some like inner work with the child and having a little bit of self-respect. Yeah, I don't know. Normally I feel like I should be like so kind and like, you can, no, this energy needs like tough love. And I feel like, you know, in most cases where most people like self-reflect and like they're their own worst critic, like this person, I don't even feel like they reflect on themselves. They think that they're the fucking shit is like kind of the energy that I get. So it annoys me. And then one day they're just gonna wake up and be like, damn, I fumbled everything. And I think that's what annoys me, because here they go being messy in life, not respecting things, wrecking people's peace, shitting on empresses, waiting till they grow this fruitful abundance and this stock and energy when they're like in their happiest, most content healing time. And then they kind of come in and they bring like this death energy. They're like, I learned my mistake, but they didn't reflect. They didn't do shit all. They're just mad because, well, they didn't get the pentacles that they wanted. And they thought that the Goblin Queen was supposed to help them, but instead it ended up de-evolving even more and creating way more chaos and lack than they started. And so now it's like coming back. And so in order to balance the scales, to get back into the good books of back onto their soul path, soul lesson, into being able to even manifest and create. Because it's like spirit is giving them insight on what they should have done. And they said, well, I know better in spirit. So they went and did what they wanted. And spirit said, yeah, we'll hold space for you to do that. And they made so many selfish, shitty situations, and they didn't care about anyone except themselves. And then so they ended up with this Goblin Queen, and this Goblin Queen is like, they're the perfect match. They deserve each other. It's toxic. They're mean to each other, but it's like each one gives each other a lesson of how they treated everyone else in the past. And you can't get out of it until you actually learn respect. I feel like self-respect first. I think that there needs to be reflection in this masculine energy about, dude, like they were not a prize. They're not a prize. And so if you're this empress pining over them, or I don't know, however they are to you, they're not a prize. And I feel like the more energy you keep giving to them, it's like I don't know, I see like that Leonardo meme where like ho 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 ho, like laughing at you with at the bar, pub with the boys, whatever, right? And it's like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna come when things are like that and then be like, help me, help, and then I don't know. I think that's what annoys me. Is that the situation? We have Two of Discs with change in reverse, right? There's that Oberos, right? The snake eating its own tail. And that's exactly what I get with this one energy. And we have the Prince of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is a cutthroat, ruthless person. They're not changing. Right? Change is in reverse. They're like, no, I'm not going to change. I'm just going to kind of come and try and... No, Spirit's not going to let them come if they're still in that energy. And if they do come back to you, you need to 100% make sure that they've ended that cycle. And I don't get that vibe in this. People can change, they do, but that, I don't know. I would, do you know what I see? Letting it go, because it's almost like... Okay, so what I see, somebody saying, we'll say this Empress was like an empowered woman. I love empowered women, right? But then when they meet an empowered woman, being threatened by it, being like, well, now I have to kind of level up and be respectable. I need to do like the honorable things for some things, and really I'm a shitty person at the core. And so I'm gonna not do that. I'm going to fuck them over, and I'm actually gonna choose this other one who looks like it's gonna be the easier target kind of thing, except not knowing that this Goblin Queen was like, sweet, like hooks in you now. And then they started that contract. And so they're in that cycle. I feel like by you removing yourself from that, not giving energy to it, and they chose the other one, they signed that, you're free, right? You have your self-respect, and you go and change, right? That's where you go and continue to find whatever energy it was that you were given out looking for. And don't settle for these like quick, I don't know, with this one I get a lot of anger. It was always your fault for something. It was always dramatics. And so it's time to receive healing. And so I see by you doing that, detaching from it, going and healing yourself, right? They can't affect you because now they're attached to this person. They don't have no claim to you, no right, no nothing, no soul bond, no nothing. That's the thing. That's the aha moment. And so I did pull one more card, and I've just been holding it, and it is defeat. The Five of Swords. And so by you removing yourself and choosing that self-respect, love, and healing, that's what ended the cycle for you. You were in the cycle before with them, and they thought, whatever, I'll just ping pong between all these choices, and I felt like it really made you doubt yourself, think that you aren't worthy enough, kind enough, whatever. But maybe if I loved more, maybe if I gave more, all those silly thoughts you have in your head. And so that's what I see. I see you finally being like, dude, everything is great. And I'm free from all this. And like just having like this is the aha moment. It's that releasing yourself from the karmic cycle. Because this person was always in a karmic cycle. They were in a karmic cycle before you, karmic cycle with you, karmic cycle next person. But you grew and you evolved and you got yourself out of that contract. And so you're not in that energy anymore. So, yeah. By you removing yourself, that's what I'm seeing. Defeat. So, right, I almost didn't get that fully out. I see that person, you going off, healing, doing your thing, finding happiness, doing whatever, right? Creating a new life. And then them kind of coming back. And it said, make sure that this energy's out, because I feel like it's almost like a 12-step program or something, you know, like eventually you have to like go back and apologize. It's just like something like soul level stuff that you kind of need to get off your chest, or else it will forever like kind of just consume your mind. And it's not usually for the person, but it's for like you, that kind of thing. So I almost see like maybe that energy coming back, and I don't know. Tell me more about this, Spirit, because I don't like this energy. I think they're going to stay in that cycle no matter what. Select few, extremely very few, are going to actually get out of it. They made their choices. Like, I don't think whoever this one energy is like looking at that person's inner child and loving that version of them, but they are not that child anymore. They sacrificed that child. They were like, I don't care. I choose greed, gluttony, all lust, all those, right? They suck. But some, I feel like it might be like 1%. 1%. And that could still be a lot. There's a lot of humans on this earth. So for that 1%, we have hydrate, and it kind of looks like she's looking in a mirror and she kind of like touched it and rippled it. And on this side, there's like another one. It's like kind of like Alice. Oh, Alice through the mirror kind of energy. And that's what I'm getting, is like, it's just a mirror to kind of come back. So maybe you can hold space, and honestly, I don't even feel like you need to give anything to this person. I feel like what they have to say is just to let things off their chest, and then they can like move on with their life onto whatever next cycle is meant for them. And that could be kind of healing, but just know that you're a mirror. And in that mirror, it's whatever is within them that they see in you. And it has no indication of who you really are. So if they get mad at you, well, that's what's within them. If they, I don't know. I just see like you standing up for yourself or something, and interesting. Standing up for yourself and them kind of getting mad about it, or maybe, I don't know. But what I thought was interesting, right? So with the piece, we had that in the upright. And now over here, we have the Two of Swords as well, right underneath the Two of Swords in reverse. It's like, and it landed on the respect card. It's like, no, I've taken off the veil of the karmic cycle that I was stuck in before, and choose love, choose healing. There's a lot of purple in this. So there's a lot of spirit. There's a lot of, as I said, it's coming forth. There's something coming forth. And then what kind of came out with the Two of Swords was the Seven of Swords. There's a sneaky, I want to call him a sneaky rat bastard. You suck. I'm sorry, this energy sucks. I hate it. And so, I don't know. I feel like that's exactly what they're going through. They're going from tent to tent to tent and just seeing what they can take. And that's what they do. It's like from, I'm hearing victim to victim to victim. And And that sucks to hear because, well, I'm kind of getting the energy like I'm not a victim. And it's like, well, you were kind of in a karmic situation and you outgrew it. And the situation that you were put in, you didn't deserve. You didn't deserve to be treated that way. You were there with an open, authentic heart, right? You chose peace. You chose love. You chose to kind of like, you tried balance, but it was a very unbalanced situation. And that's what I get, right? With this, it's like give back. It's just someone who's like such a giver. And so there is a need for boundaries. And that's where that respect kind of comes in, because I guess you can have a little bit of love and compassion for this thief / time stealer. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's a sneak. He's in all places at once. I didn't do it. I wasn't there, but you know. And so, yeah, there's just a little bit of healing to come in with this. Spirit, is there anything else that we can... I was like, is there anything else that we can kind of bring into this? And they're like, it's time to let the old cycles go. Like they have matched up. They signed their contracts. They are karmically tied and connected. Things have been defeated. There was that defeat card. And I guess it's safe. It's safe for you to go forward with an open heart, is what the message is. They're saying happy blooming. They're bringing it back to the prudence card. I feel like with things, once it kind of happened, once you stopped that cycle for you, because you kept growing, kept the heart and the balance, and so you were guided and you know how to get out of this karmic situation, which puts you into the weaver of creation energy. And by doing that, don't be hard on yourself for loving someone unconditionally. That was the greatest gift of the world, and they fumbled it for money. Unconditional love or money, when they could have had unconditional love and money. Because it would have grown. They would have had that intuition to create and manifest the dreams that they wanted. But instead, they chose the other thing. So cycles are done. Things are over. And I feel like you're just scared to be dumb or naive like you were. And you weren't dumb and naive. You were genuine and authentic. So we pulled 2 more cards. And we have, oh, beautiful. We have the Page of Wands, right? And I kind of get that as like a new beginning. Starting again to have that spark or that excitement. And the next one was the 9 of Pentacles. And so there's Alice sitting, and the 9 of Pentacles is all about you created abundance for yourself out of nothing. And the reason why you have all these pentacles and the abundance and you're sitting, right, the chessboard standing out, and like I just heard checkmate. So the next one to come is the 10 of Pentacles. So it's like one more move and then checkmate. I feel like you'll see there's some receiving to come ahead. As I said, there's a lot of energy from the future energy coming. It was a little intense at the beginning, so I think it's Spirit is showing that you put a lot of thought, a lot of creation into this, a lot of momentum and energy. So you have to clear and let go of those things and accept that people made their beds. Let them lay in it. I don't think you have to worry about the past. That's what I'm seeing Spirit be like, they're in that contract now. It's almost like a veil between you. It's like a freedom, finally, right? Escaping that mental hell, I hear. It sucked. And so with that, you get to have more joy and radiance and healing. There's more stability. There's blessings. But with the, right, because it was all about having love or genuine unconditional love or things, right? And things could be like your home, safety. So I could see why you can get those things confused. But when your heart's in balance and your heart told you to do something and you still chose money, that's where the problem was. But in this, I saw I was always balanced. So when you gave and you shared and you did all that, it's going to come back to you tenfold. Why did it end up? I was like, why did whoever in this story end up in that situation, right? Because if you were like authentic and genuine and open, and again, Spirit's like, we just really need you to have boundaries with your time and attention and energy. Not everybody deserves I feel like everyone deserves unconditional love, but not at a cost to you. And so I feel like that in this energy before, they would deplete themselves. They would like overgive, right? Give me a card to explain. The King of Wands in reverse. This is not someone you should have been giving your money to. It's that saying, throwing pearls before swine. This person sucks. And so, I don't know. I think it's mostly like I don't know. What the hell energy is this, Spirit? I just keep hearing, but why? But why? But why? And there is no real reason. It's because you continue to grow and elevate, right? You kept the balance, so you had that guidance. And you weren't following the same guidance, so it's split apart. And you can, when you're kind of around someone, a lot of the time we can trauma bond with them, right? We can share our things and like kind of feel seen at that level. But if they like staying there and they don't continue to grow out of it, well, eventually one day you're going to kind of grow up, right? Like from a child to an adult, you grow emotional maturity. And what I get is the other one is like, they really like being that victim story. It's manipulative. They're very, with their words, they can tell you what you want to hear. And so that's what Spirit's saying is like, we had this King of Wands, which is like a douchebag, in reverse. And there were so many signs that this person was not worthy of your time or energy. And so, yeah. Feel like the more and more you kept trying to make something work that was never meant to work, it was really for you to finally like be like, I choose me. I choose respect. I choose not to fight, not to struggle. I choose peace, because with this peace is not having that inner war within yourself. And when you have inner war within yourself, those are like mental health problems, can show up as physical problems, right? Stress, all that. And so that's what I see. I see you chose your health, you chose happiness, joy, and healing. And so with that, Spirit's saying, there's so much more to come. I'm feeling like not much of the thoughts have been on the past. I don't feel like you think of that. I don't feel like that affects you much. A smidge affects you though. That's what I mean. It's not like you're sitting there like obsessing and thinking and like, why? There was a why, but it's almost like I feel this energy coming and you think you're still in that same cycle, that you didn't learn your lesson. But Spirit's saying you got yourself out of that karmic pattern. You're out of it. You've learned it. So whatever's coming, you can be open and authentic with your heart because you know the red flags. You've been through it previously. And right, if you see some of those, speak about it. Right, there's that blue there, that through that throat. Woo. And yeah, I feel like in the past you were like, it's fine, or you talk about it and they they tell you a lie and you are quick and easy to believe that lie because, well, why would the person that loves me lie to me? And I don't know, this person sucks. Why did they do anything that they chose? But they chose it and they have free will. So let them go off on their little karmic contract and create their own little karmic roots, and you grow and you heal because there's something awesome coming. I feel it. It's been confirmed, and all you have to do is receive it. You're safe to receive this time because I don't feel like this person ever gave to you, so you don't know how to receive. And that's the weird thing. How do you receive? You receive healing by, it says commit to happiness, and it's another purple one. There are other colors, but every time I do it, it's purple. What's this? Reliable. I feel like in the past, it was never stable. It was never reliable. And so you took yourself out of it because it wasn't safe. And I feel like somebody chose money because that was safe, but it was never safe for you. And whoever this was, it was an emotionally unstable environment. And so now you're going to have something reliable and safe. And it's going to be happiness. And so I'm excited. And I say happy creating. And yeah, the main confirmation before we wrap this up, you're not going to repeat that cycle because you got yourself out of that cycle and the key players have already signed new contracts. You're free. You're done with that. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's someone else's problem now. So with that, enjoy your day. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.